host, Allie Clifton. He is Richard Jefferson.
Yes, I am.
Cheers. He is Channing Frye. Channing, where are you? Because you're not at home.
I'm in Central Oregon, so I wanted to take my kids sledding and see the snow. So I'm in a rental house on a river behind me. So we've been here a week. It's been nice. The pandemic is
tough. When you have a home in Portland, then you have your vacation home in Portland, and then you go and take another trip and rent a home in Portland. Are you gonna be all right, man?
Well, it's technically not Portland. It's like Bend, so it's about 4 hours away. But there's no snow in Portland, so out here it's been sunny every day. We took them to go sledding. They've been making snowman, so it's nice, man. You gotta mix it up a little bit, dog.
Channing's he's just really trying to emphasize why they call it God's country. But I think with that said, we got a special guest. He's a man that needs no introduction. And he wanted to join us.
Yes, he does.
Cheers. Finally, LeBron James.
Cheers.
Welcome back to Road Trippin'.
Yes. LeBron Alfred James.
You called him what?
That's his middle name, Alfred.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, here we go
Alfred.
with that.
Well, it's good to see you.
It's good to be seen.
I mean, I haven't seen you like in the flesh since March.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
What's been going on in your world? Anything happen?
No, it's been pretty quiet in my world, to be honest. It's been pretty quiet.
It's been a quiet few weeks, man. So I saw your ugly face in the bubble.
Unfortunately, I saw you. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you saw that. You were riding your bike around the square footage that we had. It was tough for me because I was only there for 40 days. How long were you guys there?
96 days, 95 nights. I would never forget it.
Oh, you got it down.
Do you have it down to the hours and minutes?
96 days, 95 nights. I would never forget it, man.
What was the experience? Okay, so now you guys had the best experience because you left with a championship. But what, like, overall, like, to see it pulled off, to see all the things that went on to get it done, and then to see all of some of the positive change and the positive messages that were going on in the bubble. How was the entire experience?
So what side you want first?
Man, we got hours.
Okay, so we'll go with the good first.
Let's go with the good.
Okay, so Adam Silver in the NBA, Michelle Roberts and that crew, they did a hell of a job of putting that thing together. And I mean, obviously we saw what was going on early on with baseball. We see now what's going on with football, no matter the pros or college, with with COVID and the pandemic. So for them to put that together and for it to be able to last the way it lasts, kudos to both sides. From a social injustice standpoint, us as the players to be able to use the NBA platform and us be able to go out there and speak about systemic racism, police brutality, voter suppression, everything that was going on, gave us an opportunity. I mean, obviously, we know you played for the franchise and we competed against them.
Yeah.
With the Warriors, they say strength is numbers.
Yeah.
Strength in numbers. We actually saw that in the bubble. The Milwaukee Bucks, they sat out a game. They boycotted a game because of something that happened in their backyard, what we all aware of, and we all stood in solidarity with Milwaukee Bucks. And if we had decided to leave at that very moment, our numbers and being as strong as we could have been would have been depleted. So as far as us being able to stick through that and be able to create some change while we were in there and speak about things that was going on in the communities and talk about things that was just affecting not only our personal lives, but our own communities and things of that nature, unbelievable. Basketball, unbelievable. I loved every part of the basketball. Besides not having fans, Laker Nation, I and the rest of the group, guys, we miss you guys so damn much. It's like,
it was eerie. It's
eerie.
The first time, no kidding. The first time I got to watch a game, I think it was conference finals. And so I'm sitting there watching the guys run out, and they're like, ladies and gentlemen, the Los Angeles Lakers. And the guys were just joking. They were like, hey, running out. And it was like, no applause. Like,
nothing.
None.
But you would never guess if you were watching it from home. You would never
And that's what my mom and my wife was saying the whole time. She was like, for us, at home, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
And that's another kudos to the league. They did an unbelievable job of being able to showcase it to their fans.
Yeah.
But for the players, when you ran out there,
nothing.
And all you heard was sneakers and basketball, it was like the first AAU tournament you ever played growing up.
But even then, the AAU tournaments were
at least
like,
your mom and them was there.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, exactly. At least you got that. It was literally nothing.
Yeah.
It was straight dead silence.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, from that standpoint, because we even talked, we had a moment where there were moments you would like look up at the crowd mid-game, emotional, you know, and act as if they were there, right? So you were huge, the one of the biggest leaders in making sure that that bubble, the restart, happened.
Yeah.
So when you experience all of that for the first time, were you disappointed? Were you mad? Were you like, oh my God, this is what it's going to be about? Like, how were you able to process all that?
Well, I mean, it's almost the same feeling as when you first time you go to a haunted house. You get excited with your friends are telling you how great it is, and you get juiced up. You really don't realize how scary that shit is until you get inside of that haunted house.
Yeah.
And that's what I compare to the bubble. We were all excited to get back. We were excited to be playing basketball again. I mean, we stopped playing in March, so we were all excited. But you don't really know what you're getting yourself into until you get inside the bubble and they tell you, that right there, you cannot go outside that gate. You cannot go outside that line. If you go outside that line, the gun line boss from life, if you go outside that gun line, you will be in 14-day quarantine. And that is the last thing that you want to be. You're already inside of a bubble. You're inside of a line. You can't go outside of the gates. You can't do anything beside here. And if they tell you got to be inside your room for 14 days, that's a killer. So
Channing, could you handle? Because
I was just gonna ask.
Channing, could you handle? I did a week when I got in, and that was hard.
And I talked to you.
That was dark. That was dark. Like, could you handle a two week quarantine, Channing, or a week quarantine?
No way. I want to say, you know what? This ain't it. This ain't it. Just get me out. I got it. This ain't it.
Hang on though, because you all play on a team where you did win a title, Channing. So you know how hard that is, how awesome it is to be a champion. Would you have done it for that?
Yeah, but you didn't know.
Allie.
I mean,
no, we didn't know. But here's the thing, Allie. I was always going out. I was always like walking around, meeting somebing, doing something. I was never in my room.
Somebody.
Channing,
This guy walks around every city we go to.
Is the worst.
He goes. He just walks around towns like he's not 7 foot.
Why I like Golden State is because there are so many homeless people I could just talk to when you guys got tired of me. I just walk up and strike a conversation.
Channing would have fished. But real quick, I want one thing, because when I got there, again, it was so weird getting there towards the latter phase. And so, like, you're talking to, I was just with the crew, ESPN staff, TNT staff, and it was weird because we normally don't get to hang out. Like Allie LaForce, I met her, and Rebecca Harlow. These are people we're never at the same arena at the same time, because they're normally TNT, we're ESPN. So you get a chance to like talk to different people and have conversations with them. But they said like that 48 hours when the Milwaukee Bucks decided to walk off, no one knew if there was ever going to be games like for the rest of this bubble, if it was going to be canceled. They said that the whole, pun intended, that the whole bubble deflated. There were people walking around like, yo, we've been spending, you know, months here prepping for this, and all of a sudden this thing might be completely over. What was that 48 hours like for when you found out them, then as a leader, what the Lakers were going to do? Just take us through that 48 hours.
I'll give you the whole story and just break it up a little bit.
Up next on Road Trippin'.
I was ready to walk away. I had called
and kind of understand how we can work as a team, and everybody else too. Like, to me, just obviously those two guys are unique and kind of the head of the team, but then the rest of the group, we all have to work as a unit as well, and everything has to be on the same page. So it's going to be fun. I can't wait to start working with the team and understand everybody's tendencies and what they like to work at and operate on the floor. Obviously, I know the tendencies from playing against, but at the same time, putting that into their comments and seeing one-on-one what they like to do and seeing it firsthand, I think it's going to be pretty awesome. It's a great challenge for me. I look forward to it.
Montrezl Harrell was like that slap in the face that, hey, free agency has started. Yeah. And it kind of shocked everyone. Yeah. Do you think it's a good fit? Are you excited?
I do. And I know we talked about people the Lakers could have gone after before free agency. I was thinking more of a shooter, like a Joe Harris, or maybe like a slasher defender, like a Jeremy Grant. Those guys got paid a lot of money out of the Lakers budget of about $9.3 million next season. So Montrezl Harrell, great fit. I mean, this guy's motor is an 11. This guy just always shows up every single night. It's going to be huge when and if guys like LeBron and AD say, you know what? We had a grinding season, the longest ever in NBA history. We're going to take this game off. Enter Montrez. He will pick up the energy right away. And when you lose Dwight and JaVale, you need a guy like this to kind of hold the fort down at the 5.
Sixth man of the year, averaging 18.6 points per game. And Brez, I'm going to say this before Bill can.
Okay.
They got a Schroeder, not a shooter. That's a Bill Oram one right there. Bill loves it. Bill, Montrezl Harrell, excited?
I've never been prouder.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just tearing up a little bit.
I just want to sit back and let you rip now.
It's a big deal.
No, I think, the Montrezl Harrell signing, he's a great fit on any team, I think, for all the reasons that Brez laid out. And the Lakers obviously had a completely different philosophy with their front line a year ago when they were huge. They were supersized with JaVale and Dwight Howard, and they had some of the best rim protection in the league. But you get to the playoffs, and they weren't really able to play both those guys in really any of their series, with the exception of the first round against Portland. And so I think that one thing the Lakers learned is those guys made them great in the regular season, but to win championships, maybe your front line can be a little more malleable. And Montrezl Harrell, to me, becomes all the more valuable because you have Marc Gasol. Because Montrezl Harrell, we saw with the Clippers, really struggled in that matchup in the second round when he had to try to handle Nikola Jokic. Like, that just was not a good matchup for him in really any way. Marc Gasol can handle that matchup if you find yourself in another playoff series against Nikola Jokic. And I think that makes Harrell that much more valuable because that doesn't need to be his job. I love him as an energy guy, as a passionate player. I mean, he kind of brings some of the edge that the Lakers had in Rajon Rondo, but he brings it every single night, and he's 10 years younger.
Yeah, and Brez, Bill just alluded to it. Listen, with Marc Gasol, I mean, this is a different style of basketball. There's no more rim running, 3 7-footers, a lot of lobs to JaVale and Dwight. He will space the floor. He can shoot threes at a high clip. He's a great passer. As Bill said, he knows how to defend, but in a different way.
This is a great pickup for a little bit more than the veterans minimum, too. I mean, another great move by the Laker front office. And, yeah, how many threes did JaVale and Dwight combined to make in their career? 4, 5? I don't know what it is. It's not a lot. Marc Gasol will have that money in 1 week for the Lakers this upcoming season. I mean, this guy really does space the floor. And there's one thing to nitpick the Lakers on this past season, it would have been their three-point shooting. All right, they finished 12th out of 16 playoff teams. It's hard to nitpick a team that does go 16-5 in the playoffs, but this guy definitely helps extend the floor a little bit since they didn't really get that Joe Harris type in free agency.
14 total, according to my statistician, Dave Ramazano. 14 total threes between.
Give Marc Gasol 2 weeks, and he'll give that with the Lakers.
Well done, Dave. Jared Dudley, by the way, had some free agency news of his own. He took to Twitter to make the announcement, saying simply, "I'm back," in his Jordan voice. LeBron replied to it saying, "Yes, sir." The Lakers have since made it official. Duds is back. And Bill, for those that don't understand locker room guys or chemistry guys and what they do for a team, explain to them, Bill.
Please.
I don't care about any of that. I just want to talk about how great he is for the media.
Yeah.
I mean, what a gift.
So happy.
A gift from God Jared Dudley is. I mean, my goodness. Has there been a more media-friendly player in NBA history? I mean, like, he will sit down and talk to you for 40, 50 minutes, however much time he has. He will give it to you, and he'll answer any question. Last year, I sat with him in the lobby of the Nines Hotel in Portland, and I told him I was going to ask him any question, and the only condition was that he had to answer it. And he agreed. He did it. It was great. The most enjoyable one was I asked him who his least favorite teammate ever was.
No way.
And he answered it. How many guys in the NBA are actually going to answer
Can you tell us?
Oh, absolutely. It was LeBron. I'm kidding. Geeter, you're going to love this answer. You're going to love this answer because it was one of his Clippers teammates. It was Blake Griffin.
Oh,
I remember that. Yes, I remember hearing that.
Wow.
Yeah, that was you, Bill. Good job, man.
Good stuff, Bill. That's right. I do remember that.
Bill,
Good
breaking
job,
news. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't be any more excited to have Jared
Bill's
Dudley
a great
back.
writer.
He's a good writer. Gets good scoops, good in-depth stories. Go out and read them right now. Yeah, I mean, you just can't get more excitable as a media member than having Jared Dudley coming back. He's what they call in the old days a notebook filler, if you're a writer. You're searching for something to just kind of fill the space. He's the guy to do it. You can talk to him about anything, and a good voice in the locker room.
He'd have been great for your little extra section you used to have at the LA Times.
Yeah, like the sidebar.
Yeah, news and notes.
If there's nothing going on in a midseason game in Charlotte, you go talk to Jared Dudley before that game. You'll have something.
I'm just glad he's not taking our job this year. He's playing another year. Coming up next, we have more with LeBron James on the